Every 16th February, all roads lead to Muchwinyi in Chitukumu district in honor of the late General Luwum that was killed by the then President of Uganda, Idi Amin Dada, in Kampala and was buried in his home area in Muchwinyi. Alex Okero Obangamoy, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Ethics and Integrity, says that by the time they murdered late Bishop General Luwum, Alex was entering the university and was mature enough to understand death very well and how the Christians felt about the issue by that time.
This is actually the original home for Saint Janane Luwum, who was the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Zaire. And he was murdered in 1977. Most of the viewers may not have been born. A few were there. I want to tell you that I was already born and I was now mature enough. Actually, 1977 was when I was entering the university. So the death and the murder of Janane Luwum, I knew it very well and we felt it as the Church of Uganda and as the people from northern Uganda, because he was, before he became the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, he was the Bishop of Northern Uganda Diocese.
Okero adds that the killing of Archbishop General Luwum was considered a national scare and it touched a global phenomenon, which is the reason why the day he was killed was declared a public holiday.
16th of February was declared a national day. This was on the request by the church when celebrations was taking place at the venue in Muchwinyi in 2015. And His Excellency the President was officiating, was present as the chief guest of that. The very reason why the church expressed interest to have this day declared a national day was because the death of Janane Luwum was considered not necessarily by Ugandans, but worldwide. And he had already been declared a saint. And a big monument was already built up in Europe, in the UK, at a very prestigious place.
Okero further noted that General Luwum, having been murdered in Kampala and buried in Muchwinyi on 16th February, the date is a Martyrs' Day of sorts.
About Janane Luwum was murdered in Kampala here on the 16th of February, but his body was taken and buried in Muchwinyi, next to a small church which he had started at home there. That is where his grave is, and that is where we normally go at the gravesite and remember his death. And when he was declared a saint, then Muchwinyi became a home of a martyr. So 16th February is also a Martyrs' Day, but this time is for that one, the Archbishop, the person who was the Archbishop of Uganda, Zaire, Rwanda, and Burundi.
Okero revealed that killing of Janane Luwum became a spark to ousting Idi Amin's Dada regime.
If you read the writings of the martyrs that left, that developed up to his death, he had stood for certain principles. He had stood for the truth. And he stood against dictator Idi Amin, face to face, and said, "You are killing Ugandans. God did not make you a president to kill innocent Christian, innocent individuals, innocent subjects when you are president." That was what Janane stood for. And he stood for the truth. And he stood to tell the leaders. He said, God made you a president for a purpose, not to kill. And that is the very reason why he was killed. Of course, President Amin crafted a story and whatnot that, we had found guns in this place. 1977 was when Amin had overthrown the first government of Uganda and had ruled for 5 years, 6 years from 1971, and his rule had gone to the climax. And the killing of the Archbishop actually sparked the chasing of Amin. Worldwide, everybody now got to know that, this cannot be.
He related General Luwum to Jesus, who said in the Bible that he would die for his people and for the truth.
The whole world realized that if he can kill the Archbishop for the truth, for what he has said, which is the truth, then he must now be fought off and go. So that day is celebrated for what the late Archbishop stood for, and to see that bad government must be told of. And in the Bible, they said, I will stand for the truth and I will fight to liberate our people, even if it means laying my life for them. This is what Jesus had said. So indeed it is true. Archbishop General Luwum laid his life for Ugandans.
Muchinyi is located in about 25 kilometers away from Chitukumu town, a small village but quite historical. Okero raised the suggestion to government and church to combine efforts to develop the place.
We are hopeful that as the government and the church put their hands together and develop this place, it will be a memorable place, it will be a place of attraction, it will bring the history of the church and the history of martyrdom of General Luwum to light to even the children not yet born.